So hi everyone, today this video we're gonna discuss something that I really do a lot. I really give a lot of information about in this channel, and it's something that we're gonna develop again. It's about health, but health that is more in count of the one of the most principal pillars, that is the food, the nutrition. And so we're gonna give you some small tricks and understand how you score that specific type of metric that it's so much important. It's like one of the most important to define our health. What do you have to understand? Why we get nutrition? Nutrition is like the ability to get macronutrients, micronutrients, minerals, everything that we can count and obviously as a biological factor in our body in a way that us to have longevity and have health. We have to understand that we need these type of molecules to have our reactions in our body to having the ability to restore. And so we have to understand, and science already proved this by a lot of time, even prior than the existence of the majority of people in that world, that we need to take care of our nutrition. We cannot just eat wherever we want and expect to have so our body performing well, because it has some specific needs that we have to fit. And so what we have to understand today, if we're gonna like make a search about how people have their diet, what they like, the foods that they get their body on, we're gonna understand that like more than 90% of the people, they don't meet what are like their nutrition needs than an average people needs. And so it's something that bothers us. We have to work on it. And so what do you have to understand? We have to understand that one of the most things that I think it's like I will say like the main villain for that specific type of search would say so, that these high majority of people don't have their nutritional needs being met, is because the people a lot today, I see that they eat a lot of food, but they don't eat like the food that gives the nutrients that they need. So what I want to say, they eat the food that makes him have full, but don't makes him have full of things that we're gonna see me talking about microscopically, talking about what's the real needs that our body has, other than just probably meeting carbohydrates by the lot of things that we eat today, cakes. We have obviously other things that are obviously important. We eat a lot of meat, we eat a lot of pasta, but we're gonna see that we just doesn't need like to feed our carbohydrates like what gives energy. We have to understand that things, specifically what I call and everyone calls as micronutrients, that are like one of the things that we most underrated and how important they are, and is one of them that people more feel lack. And obviously, if this is matched with the lifestyle, which we feel so much stressed and even so takes off our reserves of these micronutrients in our body, the reality is we're going to even feel more the lack. And so the feelings that probably can come is in terms of headaches. We can see that we have like a high tendency to be sick, so we get a sickness, and so we get our work being spoiled by this sickness. So we are more prone to any type of thing that the environment can put on us, diseases, everything. And so makes me more someone that's more weak and so more vulnerable. So with that, I have to understand that if I just look for diet and nutrition in autopilot mode and just eat what is cheap in the market, so I just eat what I want, what I have like a willingness, probably so I'm gonna have a deficit in what our needs. And so we have to give back our attention to the diet and nutrition, and probably spending a bit less more of our energy and attention in other things that are not so essential. And it's like one of the things that I will say in pair with exercises, they already meet what we need to have a good health. So we need and we can, and it's not so much difficult. The economy is created for the needs of the people getting satisfied, and so we have a lot of alternatives that can help us to meet so our needs in diet. It doesn't require a lot of protocols to have so already what I call the Pareto law, that is 20% of the things already determines 80% of the outcomes, and in diets it's meeting so our needs in micro, macronutrients, minerals, and obviously having some type of antioxidants that are useful in order to our body have the ability to repair and not so we get old in a early age. So now, what do you have to understand? Macronutrients. We're gonna look for this domain. Macronutrients, we have proteins, carbohydrates, and we have fats. Carbohydrates normally we meet, and even I will say that we overgenerate because the amount of carbohydrates that they are in present in the majority of the foods that people tend to eat, they're like a high representative. They're like present in pasta, in rice, they're present in cakes, they are present in pizzas, so in bread, they're present in the majority of things. If we look for as well for cereals, they're like the thing that I'm less bothered because everyone meets, even if they kind of have like a bit more restrictive diet, the majority of people meet towards their nutritional needs in their day-to-day life. Now, proteins. Protein is a lot of is like one of the most important between the macro, because while carbohydrates and even fats, they have more paper of give us energy, they're most used for energy, even obviously considered as fat is important as well for other things, but protein is like what our tissues uses the amino acids of the protein to repair our body, to construct. And today a lot of people, what I have been seeing, what the research seems to say, that they tend to replace the portions of the what should meat with fish, with eggs. They tend to fill that with more pasta, more rice, and just like small amounts of protein. Because we have read a lot of propaganda that meat is nothing, is something that's not good. Meat is something that even can create cancer. What's the reality and what science says? The reality is the best way that we can have to meet our protein needs is eating this type of meats, red meat and chicken. But obviously, today by the evolution, we have what we call as protein. We have whey protein. We have things that taken as a shake, and we take it, and we have our nutrition needs. So it's an alternative for everyone that has a like higher concerns with what are the effects in red meat. But you have to understand that if you control other things, if you just take red meat, it doesn't create you something bad. What is bad is when you make a conjecturation of your health in your life that makes you so a lot of things that are make you more prone to probably so be having a cancer in a future stage in your life. Probably if you eat a lot of red meat, like you over exaggerate, and probably you eat as well soda, you eat a lot of chips of McDonald's, we eat a lot of fast food, we eat a lot of salt or too much salt. So like it's more a conjecturation to just like a one factorial type of thing that determines so the diseases that people tend to have. So don't over exaggerate the importance that a specific thing has to determine a psych. But what I see is you should not underrate how a conjecturations of habits so creates by being done obviously in mix to create a specific disease that you don't want. So if you don't have alternative, you don't like to take shakes that do meet your protein needs, you can take your red meat with control. You can have in a making vary, it's not something that's bad. You can vary to eat so a chicken, other one so you eat a cow, a pig, then you're gonna eat a fish, you're gonna eat an egg. So it's like try to have variance. That's what the people more say that's more is important. Now in terms of fat, we all know that we have demonized and we make as a villain the fats because associate fats with being fat. But what's the reality? The reality is by unit, fat is what gives more calories. So the same amount of protein, same amount of carbohydrates, same amount of fat. Fat is what's gonna give so more type of calories, and they're not just like that much hard to eat. That's the reality. But you cannot demonize. We see that we have the peoples that obviously have too much, probably people that eats a lot of junk foods, puts a lot of oils in their foods, they're like it's too much. But we have other ones that demonize and they already suffer with bad type side effects that are with a long type of term in their lives, that they have taken low amounts of fats. It's not something that you should do. You should take fat, but you don't need to take fats from powders. You have natural type of things that you can take. You can take the fats that comes with the eggs, the fats that comes with the meat that you eat. You can take the fats that are like we call as healthy fats that's come from olive oil. That's something that's good that you can put to have a better taste in your foods. And so we can take the best, and obviously we have things that can help us to understand. If we're meeting, we can have apps that help us to understand and to help so to see how our diet and so we're meeting these macronutrients type of needs that we have. Obviously, now looking for what I think is like the thing that are most needy is the micronutrients. And real these micronutrients, they're like easy. It's like easy to get because we have one of things that it's not just like we can count as a pill, but something that we can I count more as a supplement. That is the multivitamins that exist today that give us like to accomplish, make us have like the accomplishment of our micronutrient needs without much more without having like to verify without having like the need to look for whole lot of foods with a lot of variance in order to meet all the micronutrients that are like a good amount. Vitamin A, vitamin, we have to look for all the vitamins B's, the vitamin C, the vitamin D, vitamin E. So we have a lot of ones. But if we take a supplement, we already meet like what's the basal, and obviously we have and we continue to eat normal food, and we have so a surplus amount of vitamins that so give us so an extra type of boost. So multivitamins are like something that tends to meet a good is like a good effect. It's like Pareto. It's like leveraging. It's like something that you take as like a low effort that you take like you get so your health really better by meeting so a lot of your micronutrients type of needs that you have. So it's something that's good. Now, what's important obviously is being smart and try to conjecturate, and you just obviously you cannot eat something everything, and so the things that you do, something that you eat, have like the ability to that one have like the accomplish everything that you need. So it's like leveraging. So if I use a meat, what I'm eating my needs of protein, I'm eating probably my needs of fats because meat has fat, and probably the meats, the natural meat, is as well something that is the vitamin B, the B12. That's something that's important to us. So having this type of nutrients that are present in some specific food is good because in some specific food we have a lot of nutrients, and so we just have to need and to take a lot of things because it's not the reality that each food just has one specific nutrient or vitamin. No, the foods and specifically the healthy ones have a lot of nutrients that obviously have the ability to make you have your nutrition needs accomplished. So we need to focus in macronutrients, balance, not eat too much carbohydrates, not having like to demonize the fats, and see if you're meeting your protein needs. And like one of the most important type of nutrients is see the protein. I make you have the attention to the alternatives in terms of fat. C was like natural whole foods that tends to have natural fats. Don't demonize, don't avoid at all costs. And in carbohydrates, control it. See, so there are the portions of pasta, bread, and rice that you're taking. And they're saying so if we're eating enough meat, fish, and eggs. And in micronutrients, we have a lot of foods that have a lot of micronutrients, but I would say that the best practice is getting a good supplement, a supplement that's organic, that's like the way that the body most like well will absorb. And other things that are important, what I have called that is antioxidants. Antioxidants is useful to prevent our, obviously it's something that you cannot avoid, this you're going to get old, but something that it tries to fight it, and obviously gives you a best type of health. And so for that, what are type of antioxidants? Have some foods that have antioxidants, mainly the fruits. We have the blueberries, are like one of the most and most important ones, and we should take care. But obviously today, with so much vitamin supplements that exists, some ones have some more type of compound effects, like curcumin, like the antioxidants that can be taken from the food and they build a supplement. And one of the foods that are normally taken is from blueberry, as well from the dark chocolate. But you can eat them like food, real food, if it's something that you will not have to do and you don't want to spend in more supplements. And so we have already what we call like the 20% of all things that you can do, the practice and methodology that is in health, already gives you like 80% so of what is good and can be taken for taking more care of your nutrition. Attention to the three pillars: macronutrients, micronutrients, and antioxidants. See you in the next one.